Welcome back to the channel.
Oh, we love video games.
Yeah, we love gaming in here. We love gaming in this house. Uh, we watched the Game Awards. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was nice. I love the show format this year.
Yeah, I think of all the Game Awards, this one was probably the most enjoyable to actually watch. There wasn't really a ton of cringy, annoying stuff, really, and most of the cross promotional stuff was pretty entertaining. Like
hmm
the Muppet dudes, they
Oh
were
yeah,
alright. They were funny.
yeah. They were very mean, but it was also very funny too.
Yeah, they were pretty brutal to him. But yeah, it was a cool enough show. What did you think of the award winners? What did you think of Astrobot winning Game of the Year?
Oh, it was the best. I was very happy with it, and I also wasn't very surprised because it's just like if you played the game, you would just know.
Yeah, I actually predicted it. I didn't realize I did until I was editing the Astro video. But I actually said in that video, I think Astrobot's going to win.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of thinking potentially maybe Erdtree would probably win. Like if I had to like rank it, it would have been like Erdtree, um, Rebirth, Astrobot, then Balacho and Black Myth.
You forgot about
If I had
Metaphor.
to, oh, and Metaphor, my fault.
I
Actually, I
just
think Metaphor probably.
I disagree. I think before the show, I would have said number one was probably Astrobot. Number two would have probably been Balatro. Number three, I think probably Final Fantasy. Four would have been Metaphor, then Wukong. Did I say Erdtree?
No, you didn't say Erdtree.
Okay. Erdtree I thought was probably third because I don't know for it to have been nominated at all. I think clearly a lot of people really liked it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't belong in there. They should just make a DLC category. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they really should have. I was just saying Erdtree because like it's just popular and stuff.
Yeah, and nothing against Shadow of the Erdtree. Like it was an awesome DLC. A lot of people
Yeah, it
say it's
looks really
basically a
good.
sequel, but it's it is a DLC at the end of the day. So
hmm
Um, but yeah, I was really glad to see Metaphor winning a lot. I honestly didn't know what to expect as far as Metaphor awards. Like when it comes to games that are seen as anime games, I feel like a lot of the times they don't tend to do well at these award shows.
Yeah,
Unless you're like Genshin or something, and then you just win Mobile Game of the Year. But I was very happy to see Metaphor won three whole awards: narrative, art direction, and RPG of the Year. Um, so yeah, I was very happy to see that because I think it deserves it. That game's very special. I think.
yeah. That game, that game, like it definitely. The awards that were won, I'm not even going to argue with because it definitely seems like it absolutely deserved to win the awards they got, especially art direction for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally. I 100% agree with that. I hope you do end up playing that game though, because I know you were kind of you got wary of the gameplay. But dude,
Yeah,
I the only thing I could say is truly, that game really opens up the more you play it. Like it really is yeah, you are still going for the weaknesses, but it's so much more than that. Like building your characters, the archetypes, it becomes very fun.
I'm gonna definitely give it a shot. I'll most likely pick it up on sale or something like that for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not really here to talk about the awards. We're here to talk about the announcements, the games. So first off, I wanted to talk about Dying Light: The Beast. I think this game looks really cool. I love the first Dying Light game. I never played the second one because a lot of people said it was kind of not great.
Hmm.
um, but this one seems to be kind of a return to form. maybe a little bit more linear, shorter game. But it looks cool, man. What did you think about it?
It did look cool. I never played any of the Dying Light games, but the trailer looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, Dying Light was an interesting game back when it came out because if I remember correctly, I don't remember the year it came out, but it came out in a year that was kind of dry and it dropped in the summer. Um, and then they just supported the game for years. And it was a single player game. I mean, you could play co op, but really it was a single player game. And for like 5 years or something, they just kept making content updates for it. Like, and it was all free. I was like, wow, they really cared. And they really put in the time and effort to really foster their fan base. So it's unfortunate they flopped with the second game, but hopefully this one will be better.
Hopefully, it does. It does look pretty cool. I was gonna say the next thing was Helldivers 2. I think the new like content that they added looked really, really good. It's actually the third faction. It's interesting with that game with how each faction feels very different to play on. I haven't played the new faction yet, but it's kind of cool how like the Illuminates are like much more of like kind of like zombies and like a horde mode, and they seemingly like don't die and stuff, which I think is interesting.
Helldivers is a game that I think is cool. I mean the second game looks a lot cooler than the first one. I'm just not really a fan of isometric like style games. I don't know why it bothers me. But Helldivers 2 looks cool. The new update looks cool too. Not too much for me to say about it though. What did you think of the Warframe 1999 game?
I've never played Warframe, but again, it just looks pretty cool. I don't, to be honest with you though, I don't know if I'll ever really play Warframe because it looks like a lot is going on in that game. I'm just like,
Yeah.
but I mean, it looks cool. The trailer looked nice.
Yeah, this game is weird because I don't think I fully understand what it is. I think that it is a standalone single player game. Uh, but then it's free. Like I think it comes out on the 19th or something like that for free.
I
Uh,
think I know that Warframe is like free to play. It's been free to play for a long time too.
yeah, it is. I just thought I don't know. I just thought this was like I thought they were branching out and being like, okay, we're gonna expand the Warframe world and then just make another game that we're not supporting over time. That we're just putting out a game. But maybe
Okay.
that's it. That is what they're doing. But they just want it to be free for everybody. I don't know because they make so much money from Warframe anyway. I mean, Warframe. I played a little bit of it when I first got a PS4, but then I dropped it very quickly because honestly, I think the aesthetics ugly. but I don't know. This game looks cool. I might give it a shot.
I guess another game that, or I guess a game that interested me, it was Rematch. I, which I know, yeah, like it's crazy too, because like I mean I'm not like super into like sports games and stuff like that. So, but I just what I think is so interesting about Rematch is like they gain their whole audience is people who've played Sifu, which is like a very like video gamey game
They
that
they really
appears
like
to like
martial arts games because the game before
yeah.
that was what was it called? I remember we
I don't
played
know.
it. I forgot what it was called though.
Oh, is it Absolver?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that they made Absolver too. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can see the bones of the like combat for
And
Sifu and Absolver.
yeah, but I don't know. I just thought Rematch it just looked interesting and fun, and Slow Clap. Like they're a studio that are video games. Like it's not really like a typical sports game where it's just like, all right, we got to update the roster and that's it. Like it looks like there was like some thought put into it and stuff. So, and it's just interesting that it's like a very like grounded soccer type of game, but I don't know, it has like a little bit of like special elements like whenever they were running and stuff, or like whenever you aim for the wall and it bounces off and shoots it and stuff. I've seen people kind of like make comparisons with Rocket League, and I can kind of see it. So I don't know, just a very interesting game. I'm looking forward to see more about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looked cool. It's just yeah, I don't. I'm not really into sports games either, and I'm certainly not into soccer, so I was not like very interested. I also am not really crazy about slow claps games. They make games that I feel like should be for me, but I wasn't like in love with Absolver, even though I kind of liked where they were going with the gameplay. And so I thought it was cool that Sifu was kind of an evolution of that. And I beat Sifu, and I was like, it was good, but not
Nothing
nothing like
crazy.
nothing that blew my mind away. I thought Steel Hunters looked crazy. It's like
It's mech.
it's like a
Mechs.
mecha game, but then they also have Zoids in it. Like that's so cool looking. Continuing on the mecha thing though, Mecha Break is a game I've been interested in for a while. That game looks awesome. I love
Yeah, that
Gundam.
game looks cool.
Yeah, I love Gundam. So like a lot of that game is just straight up Gundam references. So I think that game looks awesome. But I don't think right now they've announced if it's going to come to console. My computer cannot run it, so I hope it does. And I was super into Splitgate 1. Um, I was really sad when they shut it down, but I was hopeful that Splitgate 2 would be good. Honestly, some of the early trailers for that game looked a little. But Splitgate 2 it's shaping up to be pretty damn cool. I think it looks really cool.
If it has gyro aim, yeah, I'll check it out. Catley, how we feeling?
Dude, I have no idea what that was. Like, I was watching the trailer and I didn't know if this was real or I don't have no idea what that game is.
So apparently, um, some it has like this game is like from like an AI based like studio and like a
Oh, that explains
generative AI.
everything.
Yeah, it was like a generative AI. I don't know like I don't know like all of it, but I just saw like kind of a headline of it being like a generative AI type of thing. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of not surprised. I was looking at the trailer and I'm like, something about this feels kind of weird. Doesn't it really like it's on Apple Watch? Like what does that even mean?
Okay, that explains so much. Because when I saw this trailer, I thought this looks like AI.
hmm
And then I was like, but it's like very smooth though. Like maybe they just maybe they just have some fucked up weird aesthetic for it. But no, this is I guess I guess it is just an AI thing. I don't. It's fucking weird, dude. I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, it it's a weird game. I don't. It's kind of weird that they even put like a trailer of it into the Game Awards. Like it didn't seem like no one like looked at it and be like, this is kind of weird.
Who is super authentic? Who is this? I bet you like $5 this is a Chinese or Korean company.
It could be.
Let's see. Facing scam game and AI accusations. That's hilarious. Okay, prior to joining Super Authentic, it appears as though the studio co-founder Kevin Young, founder of another Hong Kong-based gaming studio. I fucking told you it was Chinese, bro. Revealed that it was working on two blockchain games. One of those was Alien Meow, which is a game called Cat Metaverse. But yeah, you would think that Game Awards, Jeffrey,
What is filtered that? Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Unless they paid the Game Awards an insane bag that they just couldn't give up or something.
I mean, yeah,
I
that's
don't
probably
know.
what it is. Yeah, he probably paid a lot of money. Um, Getting back to real video games. Um,
A real video
Crimson
games.
Desert, dude. I've had my eye on this game for a while. I think this game looks amazing.
Hmm.
They're like consistently dropping random trailers that aren't even trailers, really. They're just boss fights. Um, and it just looks so good. Like the gameplay for this looks insane. I have no idea what the story is even about, but at this point, like I just love the medieval fantasy world that they've got going on. Just really cool looking entrances. Like if this was a boss rush, I'd probably play it. But it's an open world RPG with quests and gear and I don't know. I think this game looks amazing. Like I'm actually very excited for
Hmm.
this game.
I keep confusing this game with Black Desert, which is like an MMO.
It's made by the same people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this was originally going to be like a sequel or something like that to Black Desert. And then like as they were making it, they just decided to go ahead and make a single player um game. And I
Okay.
think it's a prequel now or something. I don't remember the exact timeline. I don't know. But I always had interest in Black Desert as well, and then I found out it was an MMO, so I just I lost
Yeah,
interest.
yeah, yeah. That's exactly what happened with me. I'm like, oh, it's an MMO, not my thing.
Yeah, but I don't. I think this game looks awesome. Did you have any thoughts other than very cool?
No, that's pretty much it. It looked interesting. I don't have much to say about that one
So the
because like,
next. Oh, go ahead.
I oh yeah, because I thought it was like some type of like expansion to like Black Desert. That's the reason why I'm like, okay.
Oh no, yeah, it's single. I you should check it out. I don't know if you'll play it because you're not really super into RPGs, but like you should look into some of the gameplay, some of the bosses. Like it looks really awesome. But the next thing I wanted to talk about, something I just got to get off my fucking chest. All right,
Okay.
Dungeon and Fighter Arad.
Mm-hmm.
This trailer pissed me off. Okay,
Okay. I'm interested in hearing this.
I let me just say this. I like Genshin Impact. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
day one Genshin Impact player. All right. I was hyped for Genshin Impact before most people even knew the game existed. All right. I'm a day oneer up in here. But I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I am so I'm not a DNF fan at all. I don't give a shit about DNF Duel. I know that it's very popular. I know people liked the fighting game, but until it fell off apparently. But this new what is it? The Berserker game. It's called
Mm-hmm.
the first Berserker Kazan. That game looks really cool. I probably won't play it because it's kind of kind of Dark Soulsy. I'm kind of tired of those games too. But
Mm-hmm.
this fucking Dungeon and Fighter Arad dude, fuck this game. I'm so fucking tired of all of these MiHoYo ripoff games. What
This is true.
happened to the DNF sauce? Like, this doesn't look like DNF Duel. This doesn't look like anything that has to do with Dungeon Fighter. This literally looks like another generic game that's just copying the MiHoYo formula. It looks
Yes.
so fucking lame. Like,
Yeah. It even looks very similar to like Genshin 2.
of course it does. They all do. Like, every
Mm-hmm.
single game like this at this point, like, they just copy. It's not enough to be an open world RPG, character based gacha, whatever. No, we also have to copy the gameplay systems, the
Style.
UI, the art style. It's like, fuck, dude. What are we doing here? Like, you have your DNF Duel isn't falling off. Like that game is still very popular, still makes tons of money. Why would you change your entire art style to look like Genshin? Like, yeah, it's popular, but who gives a shit? So are you. Like, I don't understand. I don't get why like every game has to look like a Hoyo verse game. Like, I mean, dude,
Man, it even makes me think of well, it was called Mugen. I think I forgot what it's called now. I always know it's called Anata now.
oh yeah, yeah. The Project Mugen is now called Ananta, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and it looks it's another one of those like Genshin looking games.
Dude, that game bothers the hell out of me. But I will say, at least with that game, it has very different gameplay. Like the gameplay actually looks fucking sick for that game. Like they're copying the MiHoYo aesthetic, but
Hmm.
they're at least doing their own thing with it. Like it's more than just you know just an open world fantasy game. It's also not really a fantasy game. It's like takes place in modern times. That
Yeah,
in and of
it's a
itself
urban
is
fantasy.
more interesting.
Hmm.
Um,
It's interesting because honestly, whenever I see that game, I'm like, it's just very weird because like I kind of get what you're saying, but like it has like Spider-Man elements to it. Whenever I saw it, it had
yeah,
Spider-Man elements to it. It had like Grand Theft Auto elements to it with like some of the mini games and the way they like looked
driving
and were
around and stuff.
formatted and stuff. Hmm. and then like just the aesthetic of it kind of reminds me of a very like Mahoy or a Hoyoverse type of like aesthetic. I don't know. It's just such a weird looking game that I mean could work, but I don't know. It's just an interesting game.
Yeah, it's that game is still you know it's the same thing I'm still complaining about, but like I said, it seems to at least do some things that make it more unique. This dungeon fighter
Hmm.
game is indistinguishable. If you told me MiHoYo or Hoyoverse whatever made that game, I I could believe you. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I could believe that. Like they got the license to
Yeah.
DNF. Like okay,
Yeah. Yeah. They got the license to do that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
like it's just it's so disappointing because you know at this point I kind of hate gotchas. So like I'm really over it, but it's like you can do the gotcha thing and still be interesting. Like I know like the MiHoYo games are very popular and very financially viable, but it's like you don't have to copy everything about them. It's so annoying.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so over that shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, I just saw it. I'm like, it's not really my thing, but it probably has an audience out there, like people who are fans of Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves and stuff like that.
I'm curious what DNF fans. I saw some people on Twitter saying that they hated the new art style, but I'm curious how many of them are gonna play it anyways. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. I'll be interested to see how it performs, but yeah, I am really. I'm so over it. Like even Genshin, like I like playing the game, but even that I barely play anymore because it's just like, all right, I've had enough of this. Like just let's get on with it.
Mm.
I thought Dispatch looked pretty cool. It's kind of like a
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That game does look pretty cool.
yeah. The art style reminds me a lot of Hi-Fi Rush.
I was kind of actually feeling Invincible, but I think they're kind of similar, really.
Yeah, they are kind of similar. Um, but it's made by some of the people that made The Wolf Among Us, which holy shit, it's insane that we still have not gotten the second season of that. But I love The Wolf Among Us. I think that's one of Telltale's best games. And Tales of the Borderlands as well. It's just X Telltale people, I
Telltale
guess.
games. Yeah.
But yeah, I love classic Telltale games. Um, so I'll definitely be interested in playing that game. And it's got Laura Bailey and Aaron Paul, both great. So
And Moist Critical.
Moist Critical.
Yeah, he was the bat at the end. He was the one that was asking for twinks.
What? It's insane.
Yes, I know. It's funny too because whenever I saw like the trailer again, and like the only reason I knew about it was like looking at like the credits and stuff, and I was like, "Voice critical, what?" And then I went back and watched the trailer again. I'm like, "Wait, he's the bat," and I couldn't believe it because it's like like it's perfect. It was perfect. It was a perfect call. I legitimately did not know it was voice, but it was.
That's awesome. Very weird, but awesome. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I'll
know
be
if he's
interested. Huh?
oh yeah. I don't know if he's gonna be like a obviously like a critical character in the story. Maybe we're just
Critical,
for
get
that
it
like
high.
one.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional, but I'll take it. But yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be a critical character like in the story or nothing like that. So maybe we're just like for that maybe that one gag, but still, it
Dude,
was
who are?
it
Oh,
was
this
fun.
is so weird. Okay, so it says Aaron Paul, Jeffrey Wright, Laura Bailey, Jacksepticeye, Alana
Yeah,
Penis, Joel Haver, Thought Squad, Aaron Yvette, Moist Critical, Travis Willingham, Lance Kanstotopoulos, and Matt Mercer. What the fuck?
yeah, yeah. I'm saying,
What?
I'm like, what?
What a weird cast. Uh,
Ja-
all right.
I was like Jacksepticeye, and that's whenever I saw Jacksepticeye, I'm like, wait, let me look at this list.
Oh shit. So okay, so huh. So this team is actually working with Telltale to make The Wolf Among Us season 2. Interesting.
Oh, okay, that is interesting.
Good. I'm glad that they've got the original people because that game, man, I love that game. But cool. Yeah, that game looks really interesting. I'll be definitely on the lookout for it. The next one I wanted to mention was Mafia: The Old Country. I love Mafia 1. I think that game's awesome. I have Mafia 2, but I haven't played it yet. And Mafia 3, I just wasn't really into. I didn't really like the documentary style thing. It kind of spoils the story before you play it out. And the gameplay didn't feel very good. But I love I love mob movies so much. I love mob TV shows. So anything with the mafia, generally speaking, will have my attention. And this game looks really good. It looks really, really good.
Mm. I have really nothing to add, to be honest with you. Like, I haven't seen gameplay of any of the Mafia games. I mean, the trailer looked interesting and cool, but I don't know if it's something that I would like go out and play myself. It feels like the game might be like similar to GTA, which I kind of don't really care for that much. But I could be wrong though.
Yeah, they're not really like GTA. They're kind of they're fairly linear games, but they have like a open world, I guess. Have you played LA Noir? Are you familiar with how that game works?
Uh, I haven't played it, but I know about it.
Okay, so LA Noir is it's an open world game. It's a detective game.
Hmm.
But the game isn't really about exploring the open world necessarily. Like you're just using the open world to get from point A to point B, just to like, I guess, make the mission structure easier for them to develop. I think. But you're not
Okay.
really like driving around banging hookers and all that other shit. You're just
Hmm.
like going from mission to mission.
Okay.
I don't know if this is gonna be open world or not. I think that the Mafia 3 was the most open world game because that one had like your different parts of your mafia that you had to take care of and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Sonic
Uh,
Racing is Sonic Racing. It's probably gonna be cool.
oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Did you know?
Whoa, okay. You were interested in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested in it, bro. Sonic Racing like Transform was awesome. I love that game. And All-Star
Wow,
Racing. Yeah. I love like all the Sonic Racing games. They were great.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of All Star Racing Transformed on the Vita. Um,
That was on the Vita. That game was everywhere, to be
yeah,
honest with
yeah,
you.
it was everywhere. And I played Sonic All Star. I played another version, I think, and then they made a PS4 game called Sonic Racing something. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh,
Or I think that
Sonic
was
Team
Sonic and
Racing.
Sega. No, yeah, I think it was the Sonic Team Racing. Yeah,
I haven't played that one.
it's okay. It's
But
not
I
as good as
think
Transformed.
yeah, I mean, it didn't really look like it was either. But I do kind of like the gimmick of like, having teams and, kind of benefiting from like driving with your teams. Like you can get like draft from behind them and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool. I never played it, but
Yeah, it wasn't as cool as it looked. It was.
yeah.
I was like really not impressed when I played it. Like I played it with some friends, just just whatever. But compared to Transformed, I was underwhelmed. It's cool, but not.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not transformed.
yeah, this Sonic Racing Cross Worlds though, dude, what the fuck kind of reveal was that? It was like
Oh,
five
that that
seconds.
re- that reveal was garbage.
Yeah, it's like I know Shadow is like the new thing right now. Okay, even though he's a
Hmm.
very old character, but what the hell, dude? It was like literally nothing, and it's a Sonic
No.
Racing game. Would it have been so hard to show a trailer? Also, like,
Yeah.
bro, you're so it's this super short trailer, and it's supposed to look cool and iconic, but you don't have Shadow on the motorcycle. What?
That's such a good point. He should absolutely be on the motorcycle. That should be his vehicle right there.
Yeah,
What?
what
That
a
is kind of a
miss.
gimme. Yeah.
Um,
But I'm looking forward to it though. I love the Sonic Racing game, so
I will have my
uh,
eye out for it. I don't know if I'd say I'm looking forward to it yet. I'm once I see some gameplay, that then I'll be more hyped. I think that was a fairly
if it's
consistent thing with this show, also though.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, I guess well, I can talk about next is Stage Fright. This game looks cute, and I'm interested in it. All right, there wasn't really much for me to go off of, but I mean, their little teeth reminded me of like the teeth from like the stickers of Little Big Planet. So I'm like, okay, it seems like my thing.
This was weird. Because when it first started, I was like, man, what the fuck am I looking at? But
Yeah,
they said it was made by the people that did Overcooked,
yeah.
which I own, but I've never actually played. But I know people love that game. And then when it kind of got to, I don't know if this is gameplay or not. But it looks like
I don't
in-engine
know either.
footage.
Yeah,
Um,
it looks like it's in-game footage. I didn't know if it's gameplay or not though.
yeah, it reminded me of a Haze Light game, which we'll get to later. Um, so I also think it's interesting. Hello Games, I guess, is publishing. That's good for them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it looks, it's interesting. I would like to see some gameplay just to get a better um, you know idea of what exactly it will be.
Hmm.
Uh,
Project Century.
dude,
It looks very cool. I never played any of the Yakuza games. They are on my list of like games I want to check out. But this game, it looks really cool. I guess it might be like it might be like Yakuza, but like during like World War I or something. I don't know.
dude, I thought this game looked amazing. I am
Hmm.
like, I'm a very like, I don't know how to describe myself when it comes to Yakuza because I've played a couple of them and I've really enjoyed them, but I haven't played them in order, nor have I played them like sequentially, I guess. Like,
Chronologically.
yeah, well, I guess I kind of did. I went backwards with Yakuza 0, but most people did. Um, but dude, this game to me looks awesome. Like I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
it does. It looks really cool. Yeah, I like just the combat and stuff. Like it, the way to do like cameras and stuff like that. It just and just like the whole general vibe of it. It looks really interesting.
Yeah, the
Um,
main character looks like a mega Chad.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. He was like
Uh
dancing at the end. The music at the end it was so sick too. Like I love that. I want to hear more of that.
when I was watching it though, I was like, man, something about the visuals on this look very strange, and it might have just been like the stream for Game Awards. It might have been like the compression or something, but it
Hmm.
looked like almost AI ish. Like it looked kind of like weirdly low resolution. But the
Yeah, I
more,
mean,
go ahead.
but but to be fair, I know like RGG Studios is like kind of known for like very reusing models a lot, and some of those models could be like from like early PS4 era or something like that. Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I know like that's the reason why they have such a crazy output for games because they just reuse models over and over again. That's what they're doing for Pirate Yakuza, I believe. And it's
Yeah,
probably
Pirate
one of
Yakuza is, dude. I mean, I don't know. There's something to be said about that to me. Like they are a very big studio. I think last time I checked, they had like 400 employees or something. But like, man, I don't know. Like Yakuza fans don't seem to be able to get enough. So I guess it's a non-issue. But when I think about it, it's like, damn, dude, you could like put out less games because that's why I don't really play the Yakuza games because I mean, I've got so many other games that I'm interested in, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play this one. And then it's like, damn, another Yakuza game's coming out in 6 months, and now I'm already behind. It's like, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Whenever like I see like RGG Studios and stuff like that, it just immediately reminds me of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Like I feel like they're the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard of like video game studios because their output like they make incredible like well I hear like critically and like reception wise they make incredible games
Yeah,
and they put them out so fast and it's just reminds me of King Giz. And it's just like you don't really get much time to like consume it because they're like, oh, the next game's going to be out in like 6 months. You're like,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah. I'm curious. I don't know. I'm curious how far along this is because I mean, this is kind of a lot. Just based off of the trailer, it looks like they've at least got a working alpha going on with the game.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I'm curious how far along that is. It's very interesting at the very least, though. I'm very interested in that. I think I will probably for sure play that. That's like the next RGG game I will probably actually play.
Hmm.
Um, Also, Onimusha, uh, Way of the Sword. I thought this game looked awesome too.
It looked cool. I never played Onimusha before, so
Yeah, Onimusha is one of those games that I've heard about for a long time, and I've heard that they were really good, and they look like games I would enjoy, but I've just never played them. But man, this trailer, dude, this looks awesome. Like Capcom, they're doing it, dude. Like,
oh yeah, they're definitely doing it. They are very different from what they were whenever like Street Fighter Five released.
and you love to see it, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're
they're
in peak performance
investing.
right now.
Yeah, like they're making really great games, and it's not all just following trends or whatever. Like they're being a very Japanese studio. Like Kinitsugami was a game that I had interest in, but I just never really, I guess, had the time to play it. Um, and the people that played it said it was great. It didn't sell
Yeah,
crazy, but it was still, successful. I never heard any stories of Capcom saying, "Oh yes, Kiritsugami was a massive disappointment," of like Square, like every
yeah,
fucking game.
yeah. Square's like that for literally every game. Also, I played the demo of Kunitsugami, and I'm also one of those people that's like, yeah, this game is amazing. I haven't
Yeah,
played the demo though, but I absolutely plan on buying it because it was great. And I think that's what I like about it. Capcom, they can do like large games and kind of double A games and smaller games like Kunitsugami and like Shinsekai Into the Depths.
yeah, exactly. I really wish more because there was a report not too long ago that Tecmo Koei was looking into stepping away from single and double A games and we're going full in on triple A, and I just feel like that's such a mistake. Like, especially at this point that we are right now, triple A gaming is kind of a bubble that's very close to popping, and
Yeah,
there's so many factors going into that. But I just Tecmo Koei is like at the perfect spot. I feel like they make very nice, very fun, mostly fairly simple double A games, and they service their audience, and everyone's happy. Like, I mean, of course, with every company, they always want to make more money, but to me, I don't. Why can't you just be happy? Like,
yeah. Why can't you just be satisfied?
yeah, like they were making
The
it.
number must go up, Jay. That's why.
It's so annoying, dude. Like Rise of the Ronin, for instance, right? I guess that was a AAA game. It's sold better than they expected. Like it did way better than I think everybody thought. Because personally, I was very interested in the game until the reviews came out and people were like, there's kind of like different aspects of the story that aren't crazy and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this is like I'll get it on sale type deal.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it's still sold. That was a PS exclusive, by the way. That
Yeah,
PlayStation has no games, but that was a PlayStation exclusive. Like,
yeah.
and it still sold better than they thought. So I don't know. I think like I don't think there's anything wrong with having a AAA every once in a while, but like no more single, no more double. I don't know. Don't know about that one.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's nice to not put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. Um, Split Fiction.
This
Uh,
game looks crazy.
have you played a Haze Light game before?
Nah, I've never had someone to play it with, unfortunately.
Bro,
I really want to play it.
you can play with me. I love their games.
I want to play It Takes Two. I really want to play that
Dude,
one.
I fucking love It Takes Bro, hold on. Okay, I don't feel like looking for all this shit, but the point is, they made Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. I like that game. Um,
Hmm.
they made A Way Out. I think that game is awesome. Uh, and I think that game's so fucking good. And they made It Takes Two. That game's amazing. And it won Game of the Year like a few years ago. And
It did.
this game, I think I am the least interested of all the games that they've ever
Wow,
made.
that's interesting.
So and the reason for that, I think, is um, all of their games I think are they're very distinct. Um, Brothers was kind of the beginning of their co-op mindset or whatever. It was kind of much more of
Hmm.
a platforming type game, um, and it was just the story of these two brothers, moving through this world, and it was cool. And then a Way Out was a co-op game as well, but this one was kind of about a cop and a prisoner, and they were kind of figuring out how to get out of jail and making sure that everybody has something interesting to do. But it was still a third person shooter as well, so it wasn't really anything too crazy mechanics wise, but it was a consistently fun game, and the story was great. I love it. And then It Takes Two is kind of the apex of their game design philosophy of having two players doing different things but still feeling like everything that they do is meaningful. But because of the story of It Takes Two, everything was more fantastical and you're doing all kinds of crazy, wacky stuff. So there's like the gameplay is constantly changing. Like I don't want to say the game feels like mini games because all of the mechanics are very well realized, but there's not a very consistent like gameplay loop. Like you're constantly doing different things, and I love it. It's awesome.
Hmm.
Split Fiction looks like the same game,
Okay.
but with a different setting, and that's cool. That's great, even. But the story of It Takes Two, I think, was initially just the pitch of it is very compelling. A story of a family that's going to break up, and you're trying to make sure that they stay together. That
Hmm.
you can very easily attach yourself to.
Yeah.
And Split Fiction is still interesting. A tale of two writers who are going to get their shit ripped off. A bit of a social commentary on some very modern problems. I think that's
Hmm.
still cool. I just am not immediately hyped for it like I was the other games. I'll
It
probably still
feels.
buy it. Go ahead, sorry.
From what it sounds like, it feels like it's too similar to It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Is that what your issue is? It sounds like it's because it sounds like it's still kind of hitting the same beats as what It Takes Two did, and It Takes Two was great because it was like the first one to do something like that, and Split Fiction is kind of a continuation of it, so it doesn't really bring any new ideas to the table. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can't say it doesn't bring any new ideas to the table because I mean it's still Hazelight. I'm sure each moment of gameplay will be different, but I just think that the idea of what It Takes Two is the same idea as this game.
Hmm.
And what I like about Hazelight is that they follow the format of being having consistently entertaining co-op games, but each game is different, and this game is just more of the same as the previous game, which isn't bad, but you know, I'm just not excited about it. The trailer itself
Okay.
looks good, like it looks like it'll be fun, but I just am not. I don't have that same enthusiasm I did previously for the other games.
Okay, I see.
But I like
You should
Joseph
definitely play It Takes
Fares.
Two.
Sorry.
We should definitely play It Takes Two though. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
I
dude.
want to
I
play that game.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. We can definitely play that. I was just gonna say I like Joseph Fares and I think Hazelight's great. So I'll probably buy this game anyway because it. I don't think there's any way this will be a bad game at all. So I'll definitely still try it out. Um,
uh, Ninja
very
Gaiden Ragebound.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, this game looks fun. I never played a Ninja Gaiden game, but I mean I love Metroidvanias, so I'm gonna check this one out.
Yeah, I actually don't like Metroidvanias like at all,
Oh,
but
okay.
I do really like Ninja Gaiden. I'm a big Dead or Alive fan. Not really the recent ones too much, but I really like the old Dead or Alive games. And I played Ninja Gaiden on the DS when I was little, and I really like Ryu Hayabusa. I think he's a cool character. Um, and I've always been kind of interested in Ninja Gaiden, like some of those old 2D ones. And this game looks
Mm-hmm.
sick, dude. This game looks awesome.
Oh, yeah, this game looks cool. I love the pixel in this. It looks great.
Yeah, the pixel art is really beautiful. I love that pixel art is kind of making a comeback. Like not just with indie games, but just with like smaller games as well. Just like
Hmm.
traditional companies making like single and double A pixel art games. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it looks really cool. I don't have a crazy amount to say about it though.
Okay. That's fair. I just like Metrovania, so I just want to mention it.
Yeah. Um. The
Yeah.
next thing I wanted to talk about actually was Shadow Labyrinth.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was crazy.
Bro. I
and
love.
in and it's at Metroidvania.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, I love Pac-Man. Actually, I actually like when I was a kid. I was like a very big Pac-Man fan. We used to
Mm,
like play on Xbox. It was like Pac-Man Adventure or Pac-Man Land or something like that. It was a 3D
okay.
platforming Pac-Man game.
Yeah,
That
they actually remade it. Not remade it, remastered it recently. I won't
yeah
say
yeah.
recently.
And of course I like traditional Pac-Man, this is Pac-Man, all that stuff. Dude, this is such a wild game.
Yeah, it's such a weird game.
Yeah, it's got a
I
cool. I like the look of it, and I like that like Pac-Man is this eldritch
thing.
feasting monster.
Yeah.
That's making you turn darker, I guess.
Very weird game. But I mean, I'm interested to know more about it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see more, and it's another example of like what we were talking about with Capcom. It's like Bandai Namco has become like a much bigger player over time, and it's
Hmm.
cool to see them do something with their IP that is totally off the wall and different. A lot of people are very protective, especially in Japan. A lot of companies are very protective of their IP. They can't have Sonic getting shot in the face by Snake or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like they were like, oh yeah, you want to turn Pac-Man into this eldritch? He looks almost robotic. Um, yeah, into this weird fucking thing, and then make a Metroidvania with it. Go ahead. Like I love that. I think that's cool.
And I think it's also interesting too how Pac-Man isn't even like the super main focus of it. Because I mean, whenever you look at the trailer, like it's like you don't know it's Pac-Man until like probably halfway through the trailer.
No, I knew immediately it was Pac-Man. I get what you mean though,
Mm.
because it's
Hmm.
like it's just this yellow ball, and I'm like, holy shit, is that Pac-Man? And then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
starts
yeah.
eating, and I'm
That's
like,
right.
holy shit, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah, and then you don't even play as Pac-Man primarily; you play as some dude.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
very
think
weird
that game's
game.
cool. I don't think I'll play it, but I'll be interested to see how people feel about it for sure.
If it's on the PS Plus catalog, I'll definitely check it out. I
It
don't know
does
if
look
I
like a
would
PS
buy it
Plus as
myself.
game, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would buy it. I mean, we'll see. If it has some crazy like review scores, is this game's getting like tons of like nines and tens? I'm gonna be like, okay, let me tap into this.
Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about, because I don't think you'll probably have too much to say about it, The Witcher 4. Um, I love The Witcher 3. I think it's probably one of the best games ever made. Um, I've actually not played any of the other Witcher games, and I was going to play them. They were PC only, I think, for a while, or I
Oof.
think maybe I think The Witcher 2 was on Xbox 360, maybe. But because they were mostly locked on PC, I just couldn't play them. And I love The Witcher 3 so much, and they're remaking the first Witcher game, so I'll probably play that. But when they announced a long time ago that they were going to make another Witcher game, I was I don't know, I was kind of like, man, what do you do? Because The Witcher 3, especially after the DLC, has such a conclusive ending that I don't think you could. I mean, you can make up a reason for Geralt to do his thing, I guess, but I feel like it'd be like, damn, dude, he's so tired. Just let him be happy. Uh, and I was like, okay, well, you could probably play a Siri, I guess. That's an option you could do. Siri's cool. But I don't. After I played Cyberpunk. Um, I thought, dude, like what I want for a Witcher game for the next Witcher game would be like you make your own Witcher and you just go out, um, be in the school of the cat or something like that. I don't know, and then just you just go out and just do your Witcher thing because I think like Cyberpunk does such a great job of it still being a story about a character, and it being their own story rather than just being like because it's an RPG, you would kind of expect like it's your own story, but I think V's story is very much still somewhat linear. Your choices affect things, but he's still a complex character that changes and molds as you play the game. So I thought they could do that again with The Witcher. So seeing Ciri be the main character in this, I'll admit I was slightly disappointed, slightly, but I like Ciri, so it'll still be cool. Um, the trailer looked good, but there's no gameplay, so I can't really say that much about it. What did you think when you saw it?
Uh, well, I've never played any of the Witcher games, so you're absolutely right. Uh, and I'll say, the trailer looked amazing. Like I'm like, wow, this is some like Naughty Dog quality looking models and stuff. This is crazy. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it was all rendered in Unreal, but I don't think
That's even
that
that's even more impressive to me.
really.
I mean, well, I guess because I'm thinking of Naughty Dog right now. I'm not thinking. I mean,
Yeah, we'll
Unreal,
get to Naughty Dog. Yeah,
yeah, but like I mean, UE5, yeah, it's a great engine. It looks great.
yeah, yeah. I just I want to see gameplay for it because they just
Yeah.
announced like a few weeks ago that they've entered full production for the game. So I didn't expect them to
Oh
drop
wow.
yeah, I know. It's just very early. So I didn't expect them to drop a trailer at all. I think it was pretty unnecessary, but it's still cool to see. I can't complain about seeing it, but I hope we're not waiting too long now that we've gotten a taste of what's to come. I mean, Elden Ring, Night Rain, this was an insane reveal because, like, oh, two
It's
weeks
it's a
ago,
crazy
like,
asset. It's a crazy asset flip too.
yeah, but like the uh shit, I forgot what that dude's name is, but the head guy that does a lot of these Dark Souls games or most of them,
Miyazaki.
yeah, Miyazaki, right? He straight up said we are not making a new Elden Ring game. He just lied. He just lied his ass off,
I mean, technically, it's not Elden Ring. It's
bro.
not Raid. Like,
It's
what is
dead ass Elden
it?
Ring. uh, this game's wild because when the trailer started, I was like, "Is this a fucking Elden Ring battle royale?"
Yes, I was thinking the same, bro.
And I
I
still
still
don't.
kind of think that. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I still don't
they,
actually know the
they got the
answer to that
zone.
because, like, in some of the information they say is that it's like a constantly changing environment, and I'm like, this dead ass looks like a battle royale. That's exactly what this looks like. So, like,
Yeah, it has the zone and everything. I'm like, what is this?
yeah. So, are we? Is this just some Elden Ring battle royale where you're in a race to fight a boss? And then there's just straight up bosses from Dark Souls 3 and other. I was like, what the fuck? What
Yeah,
this is crazy.
yeah. That's why I wanted to bring it up. And then obviously the combat, like this is not from software, bro. They're moving like Monster Hunter characters. I'm like, what? What is this,
Yeah, they are moving kind of fast. Um, dude, I don't.
man? Man was going up the wall like I can't believe it. They got hops now. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, it says co-op adventure game or whatever. I don't. It's like a class based thing where it's like you choose I guess they have pre-made characters,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
they
choose
do.
them and you
Yeah.
go in and play. But then it looks like there's a story. So I don't. I don't really understand what this is.
Nah,
It's
that's
wild.
it's a very wild. I'm super interested to see what they because it's like I'm still kind of thinking it's probably like some weird battle royale game. It's also not going to be full price either, I believe. I think it's going to, which makes me like really
Oh
think like
wow.
this is just such a it's like what Nintendo did with Echoes of Wisdom. It's just like an entirely like weird new game that's using other assets and stuff. Like it's weird, but I'm actually interested in a FromSoft game. I can't believe it.
Wow, really? Oh, so you haven't
Yeah,
played another one? I thought you played maybe like
I
Bloodborne
played
or something.
Sekiro.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay. Played Sekiro.
I played Sekiro, and I didn't really finish it because I was just like,
Yeah, I played Elden Ring and I loved it. I also think that Elden Ring is probably one of the. I'm being very hyperbolic in this video, but I do really think Elden Ring is like really one of the best, well designed like open world experiences I've ever played. Like the exploration in that game is insane. But yeah, and it's coming out next year. Like I don't know, it looks great. I don't. It looks awesome.
I'm looking forward to like Dark Souls Monster Hunter. Like it's crazy.
We've got Okami and this Fumito Ueda game, Gen Design Project, untitled video game. Where do you want to start, bro?
I guess we can start with Okami, the sequel. I played Okami. Like I mean, I enjoy Okami. I think that game is honestly very, very timeless. I don't think it's like the craziest game in the world, but it's still enjoyable. And the art style of it looks great. The gameplay is nice. I like the gimmick of, using the celestial brush and stuff to like fight and attack.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
Yeah, I've never actually played Okami. Okami is another one of those games that I always was interested in, and I always thought would be a game for me that I would enjoy. That I would enjoy. I don't know why I said it like that. Um, but yeah, I've just never actually played it. And one of my friends was like, "What do you mean Okami sequel? Okami Den is right there on the DS."
Oh, yeah. Okami then does exist.
Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm really glad that this game is being made, and I'm glad that homie Hideki
Kamiya.
Kamiya is making it, and he's
Yeah.
remaking Clover Studio as Clover's studio. So I think that's cool.
Mm,
I think it's a very
that is cool.
yeah. I think it's I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like it looks pretty. They have straight up. They said they straight up have not started development, or they just started development. So I don't know why they announced it, but it's
I guess I just want
you
to say,
know,
hey, we are making it. It's happening. Because I mean, he's been wanting to make like another sequel to Okami like for a long time.
that's
So
true. Yeah,
I can't blame him for being like super excited and be like, guys, we finally doing it.
yeah, yeah. I think because if I remember correctly, he was with Platinum, wasn't he? He was with Platinum, and then he left earlier this year. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yes, I
him.
believe.
Yeah, he was with Platinum. He helped with
Did he
Bayonetta.
found did he found platinum? I believe.
I believe him and some other people. Yes, yeah, he
Okay.
did found Platinum. Yep. Um, yeah, he left because he said it was just kind of becoming, too much. And I kind of agree. I mean, from what I see, it kind of seems like Platinum is going off the fucking rails. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing anymore.
Oh yeah,
That
and I remember like a recent like news thing was like how a bunch of people just left. It's crazy. It probably because he was making Clover and they were just wanting to like follow him.
probably, yeah, probably. And a lot of like Platinum, if I remember correctly, they said their big focus is doing live games like everybody else,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
just I don't know why you would
It's
do
sad.
that because it's not what you're known for, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very weird situation over Platinum for sure.
They have a very checkered history, dude. Like I mean, very early on they were kind of putting out bangers, and then it's like they just started doing all those weird licensed games that weren't great. They were really bad, and then Nier Automata saved them. And then they started putting out a couple more good games, and then boom, Babylon's Fall. And Bayonetta 3 is like kind of a mixed game because I hear some people really loved it and I hear some people were not crazy about it, especially the direction they went with the story. So
Hmm.
I don't know. And then they were making Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and then Psy Games was like, give me this shit." They just took the game over because they were fucking it up or something. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Platinum. Anyway,
That
Okami. Oh, what were you gonna say?
oh yeah, I was gonna say that is indeed a checkered history.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Okami. It'll probably be good. I will maybe play it. I will probably play the original one first and then play it.
The original
Um.
one's always on sale for like $5, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could probably find it on sale right now for $5.
To be honest, I kind of assumed I had it from PS Plus or something. I don't know. Just thought I'd have to
You
look for
probably
it.
do too. Yeah.
What did you think of this Fumito Ueda game, though?
I mean, it looks interesting. I don't really have much to say about him or like any, I guess, the games he's maybe like worked on or anything like that because it's like I didn't really like Shadow of the Colossus. And I didn't really play any of the other ones either. I kind of want to play Ico though. Ico looks kind of interesting.
Mm,
I just know that this man takes forever to put out any type of game. So it
yeah.
takes like a whole decade for a game to come out. Each of his games, seemingly.
I'm not gonna lie. Very happy to hear you say you didn't like Shadow of the Colossus. Dude, I think Shadow of the Colossus is maybe the most overrated game of all time. Aside from
Yeah.
like Breath of the Wild, maybe. Like,
Well, the one thing I'll say about Child of Colossus that I did like was just like like the actual fighting of like the colossi and climbing on them and stuff. I thought that was awesome, but it's like everything else besides that. I'm like, God, this is terrible. Why do I have to
yeah.
like use my sword to find where they're at? Gotta ride my horse all the way over there. And then sometimes they will have like a little puzzle that it's just even with the little narrator thing telling you what to do, I'm still like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I
It's
always
very
have to look up
unintuitive.
like, yeah, it's incredibly unintuitive. But whenever you're actually fighting the colossi and climbing them and like going to like the points where their weakness, like that's great. I thought that's awesome. I wish more game like that's great. But everything else, I'm just like, ugh, I hate this. That's why I couldn't finish it.
Dude, I don't even know if I agree with that. Like I he has a very weird style of game development, or I guess game design, where it seems like his objective is to make the experience as cumbersome and unintuitive as possible. And he usually ties that into the narrative, which I can respect. I love when story and gameplay really meld together in the systems and stuff like that. That's one of the things I think is the best. I think that's actually just the best thing about Death Stranding is the way that the themes and the story come together with the gameplay. But the difference with Death Stranding and this guy's games are Death Stranding can be fun to play. The
Yeah,
shooting mechanics are competent in that game. The stealth is pretty good.
I think
Um,
itself is like the amazing.
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna say all
No,
that.
I will fully say I love the self in Death Stranding. I think it's amazing. Anyways, continue.
But I mean the the act of getting around, with managing your weight and stuff like that is very mechanically sound. I was never frustrated playing Death Stranding because of a mechanic not working properly or a character not doing what I wanted him to do. I would get frustrated because I fucked up somewhere,
Hmm.
or I wasn't prepared for the destination to get to the destination or whatever. But it's like I haven't played Eco. I hear that's his worst game mechanically.
Really?
But it's like Shadow of the Colossus. It's like the game's fighting you every fucking step of the way. The Last Guardian. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. I was actually excited about the last like I didn't really like Shadow of the Colossus all that much. And I mean, I should also say like I think from a story standpoint, these games are very sound. I think they have very good stories. except the Last Guardian. But Shadow of the
And
Colossus,
it's
I think
Shadow of the
is
Colossus.
yeah. Shadow of the Colossus has a cool story.
Okay.
Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the
Well, I mean,
Colossus.
okay.
Do you know
Actually, you
what
know
that
what?
game's ending is?
No, you know what? Actually, to be fair, I guess can't really judge it too much because I didn't really completely finish the game. Like, I like halfway through, I was just like, I'm done.
Shadow of the
So I
Colossus
guess,
is it's about the journey getting there. Like as you play the game, you start to understand things more. It's not very obvious until you get really towards the end when you start realizing what's actually going on. So the story of Shadow of the Colossus, I think, is very cool. It has a very satisfying payoff. But playing it, holy shit, bro! Like it's so annoying. And yeah, the Last Guardian, it's absurd. Like I understand why the game took so long because he had to figure out how to make this as annoying as possible. And it's just in the Last Guardian, I don't think it actually has that. I don't think it has that satisfying, awesome, interesting, compelling ending. I think it fucking sucks. If anything, it pissed me off. I was like, dude, are you fucking serious? This is the ending? Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I actually am not really a fan of this guy's games at all. Um,
yeah, he seems like an art house Kojima or something.
Kojima's art house. I mean that he's like Kojima is one of the most art house guys there is, so, along with like Sam Lake. But you know what the difference between them and like this guy is? They make good
They make good
games.
games.
so so all that being said though, I actually think this game looks really interesting. Um, as with all this guy's games, I like this trailer is very interesting. There's like this countdown going on. There's like a big mech, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna get into a mech, and then they're gonna fight. It's gonna be a robo battle. But the guy just fucks off, and there's just this weird. It's odd because the trailer, it looks like there's these monsters running at the like mech, and then all of a sudden the mech just starts getting punched by another mech. So I don't actually know what the fuck is going on in this trailer. Um, it looks interesting, but again, it's like, dude, I think this is in engine footage, and just seeing the
Yeah.
way the character moves, it's like, oh my, he's doing it again. Like this
Oh
character
God, he's
moves
doing it
around.
again.
He's moving around in a way that just looks so fucked up. Like his games have this signature like style of animation where they look like they're about to fall over when they stop walking somewhere. Like it's like fucking hell, dude. Why can't you just make a normal game? I don't know. People love his games. I'm sure when it comes out, it'll be awesome for those people. But ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I'm just like, man, that's oof. That is definitely something. I don't, I don't know what to say.
It's certainly a
I didn't
video
really.
game.
Yeah, I can't even say that to be honest with you. I, all like literally the only thing I can think of is just like I played Shadow of the Colossus and didn't really care for it, but this guy has his fans, so I mean, maybe this one might catch my interest, but it's from what I've seen, it's there. He was climbing a mech and he hopped off. He was like, the body disintegrated. I don't know I don't know what else to say. It's just like it's a thing.
The big reveal this year was Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. First, let's get your thoughts. What did you think?
I thought it looked cool. I I want to know more gameplay about it. Yeah, I thought it looked cool. It got a bit of Concord stank to it, but I mean, I thought that I mean, I said it before, but I thought the characters in Concord, seemed like interesting, I guess.
Yeah, you're the only person in
So
the world who thinks some of the
yeah,
characters
yeah,
in Concord look cool.
yeah. Well, I won't say I would say some of them. I won't say all of them, but some of the characters, I'm like, okay, I kind of like this
Mm.
design. But yeah, it looks interesting. If it's an action RPG, I actually no, I won't say that. I think it's like an action game, like a melee action game.
I believe so. Yeah.
Um, so and I mean, it's Naughty Dog. I can just trust them. They haven't missed so far. They've been 4 for 4. So
Mm.
I can't say, I can't say they'll never miss. It might be a miss, But I don't know. It looks interesting, I guess. I also like the acting too. The acting was nice, but I always just like the acting direction of Naughty Dog games. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. There was a lot of product placement, but I actually don't think it was that bad. I know a lot. I know I've seen like people online that were saying like, this product placement is kind of like overbearing and stuff, but I think it kind of fits like this type of cyberpunk retro futurism vibe that they're going for. I mean, because like I think of when I think of cyberpunk, I think of like something like Blade Runner, and that had product placement out the wazoo. Like they had like Atari and like Coca-Cola and stuff. So I don't know. I just think it looks fine. I think if it's done tastefully, it's fine. It's whatever. It's not like egregious like it was in like Death Stranding with the Monster Energy drinks. So
Yeah, that was
yeah,
ridiculous. So I have a response to a couple of things you said. So I think um, the product placement thing is kind of funny because when I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's a Porsche spaceship. That's kind of
spaceship.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then it was Sony. I was
I
like,
didn't even.
oh, huh?
Oh, I didn't even notice like the Porsche like spaceship thing until like I was looking at it again. Like, oh yeah, it's a sport. It's a Porsche. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. And then it was like Sony. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. This is a Naughty Dog. I immediately knew this was a Naughty Dog game. Um, I was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah, I
Sony and
knew
Naughty
too.
Dog. That's neat. And then it was like Nike or Adidas or something like that. I was like, okay, what the
It
fuck?
was Adidas.
Like,
Yeah.
it was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like every minute there was a new product placement, and that it was just kind of like, I don't care, but it was kind of off-putting. I like that the commercialism, the hyper commercialism, and consumerism and stuff like that is like one of the cool things about cyberpunk, the dystopian
Hmm.
thing. But it
Hmm.
was a little, it's different. The point of the consumerism and all that stuff in cyberpunk is that it's satirized or it's seen as a
Yeah.
negative. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of ironic. But when you have cyberpunk and you're actually promoting real ads, you are missing the point. So I just think that was weird. I don't care. Like, I'm not mad about it, but I do think it's like, well, what? You can't talk.
Whoa,
You can't
whoa.
say consumerism bad and hypercapitalism evil, and then just straight up just be promoting it. Like, it's fucking stupid. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
know that
I can
that's
see that.
necessarily the point. I don't know if this is even supposed to be cyberpunk. I mean, it is inspired by Cowboy Bebop and Akira. Akira is like a very
Hmm.
popular cyberpunk thing, but I know it's like a,
Yeah.
like you said, kind of retro future because it's. I think they said the concept was like if space travel became very popular in like 1900s or 1990s, something like that.
1986, I believe that's the setting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. But so I have a lot of things to say about this game.
Hmm.
You said Naughty Dog has never missed. I
Yes.
disagree.
Oh, okay.
I think that Uncharted Lost Legacy was when things started getting weird.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's the
I
one I
love
didn't play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in our last video, you said, "Oh, I still haven't played Uncharted Lost Legacy," and I said you're not missing much, um, because I think that game is very good. I mean, listen, like just generally speaking, I hold Naughty Dog at a very high esteem because they made some of my very favorite games.
Hmm.
Um, and I think most Naughty Dog games, generally speaking, are like of a much higher quality than a lot of other games. So like even so, while I would say that Lost Legacy wasn't that great, it is
Hmm.
still better than a lot of other games. That being said, I really was not into that game. I think like the story that they did with Chloe was very kind of strange and random. It was kind of like band for band, beat for beat, a complete ripoff of Tomb Raider narrative wise. Like her backstory in that game is like just dead ass modern Lara Croft. Except she's like half Indian now for some reason. I thought that was weird too. Um, and then having Nadine, because as far as we know currently, right, there's
Hmm.
no public confirmed like sequel plans for Uncharted. And so for this to be the last Uncharted game, Chloe is the protagonist. I'm down with. I love Chloe. Nadine is the secondary character. Nadine, bro, she's the worst part of Uncharted 4. Like, she's actively uninteresting. She sucks. I was not into Nadine at all. And then, well, I won't spoil it because I don't know if you're gonna play it or not. But I don't know. I love Cutter. I love Sully. There are like a lot of cool secondary characters in Uncharted, and I just really wish that it was somebody other than Nadine. But anyway, by the time I finished that game, I thought it was like very okay. Like I was like, it was whatever. And then we get to The Last of Us 2. And The Last of Us is probably a top 5 game for me. I
Wow.
absolutely love that game.
I mean,
And
I gotta say the same for me.
you, you said you can't, right?
No, I can't. But I
Okay. Yeah,
can,
that's
I
fine.
can, but I can recognize that it's like a really good game though.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was a time and place thing when it comes to The Last of Us because I think if The Last of Us came out right now, it would still be just as highly regarded. But at the time, it was kind of unique because games, there weren't a lot of highly cinematic, highly like character driven games like that, um, unless they were Japanese. Well, not cinematic, but like the character driven stuff.
Hmm.
Um, it's just a very unique game, and then Zombies was very popular at the time as well, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I love The Last of Us One. Like I said, one of my favorite games ever. And man, oh man, after Uncharted Lost Legacy, I was kind of worried about The Last of Us Two, and I personally was of the opinion that The Last of Us never needed a direct sequel. I
I can
felt
see that.
like, yeah, the ending is so perfect that you could just make another game with other characters. I felt like you could just you could just move on. Like you it doesn't have to be about Joel and Ellie. It can be about someone else.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting too.
Yeah. Um
Did cordyceps affect the whole world, or was it just the U.S.?
it's the entire world.
Okay, man, they could have had one in like Canada or something, or like
Yeah.
Russia.
Well, the Last of Us Online wasn't in another country. It was in San Francisco.
Hmm.
But I think that would have been cool too. I think the Last of Us Online sounded interesting. Um, but the Last of Us 2 was such a frustrating experience because the gameplay for that game is fucking amazing. I think it's really, really good. But and there are some moments that are peak to me. There are some parts of that game that I think are amazing. And like I almost, I'm a tough, big, strong guy, nothing makes me cry. But dude, there were some cutscenes in that game where I was like, "Oh shit."
Here comes the
I might
waterworks.
yeah, I was like, dude, I might shed a tear on this one. Of course I never did because I'm tough. But, there were there were some moments where I was like, "Damn, dude, this is like crazy stuff." But ultimately the story for that game is fucking it's so frustrating. I don't want to spoil it cuz I don't know if you're going to play it or not. But I mean, for the people that know. Like that game was a letdown for a lot of people. And I don't know where we're at with Naughty Dog right now. Uh, that's kind of two somewhat
Two misses.
disappointing experiences, yeah, in a row. And The Last of Us Online is something that I was interested in because I love the multiplayer for The Last of Us, and doing a co-op game or whatever the fuck it was going to end up being sounded cool.
Hmm.
And then that game just got canceled, shut down. And it's like Neil Druckmann has expressed interest in making a sci-fi game, I think multiple times in the past. So it's cool that he's finally getting to do it. I like the aesthetic for this game. I think it looks cool. He said it's inspired by Akira and Cowboy Bebop. I like both those. You can clearly see that inspiration in this trailer.
Hmm.
And I like the idea of in the trailer, I think they were saying it's kind of like them going back to their roots somewhat, making an action adventure game that's not necessarily just about third person shooting. That's cool.
Hmm.
And I like the idea of the story. Like she's trapped on this planet and she's stuck there. She's got to figure out how to escape.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of Returnal.
Yeah, it is similar to Returnal in that regard. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I love Returnal. It's peak, so I'm here.
I gotta I gotta give that game another shot. Even though it was that game was just hard. I was just getting my ass beat.
Yeah, it is a
And I
hard
also
game.
don't like roguelikes.
That's fair.
I think the title is kind of kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Returnal.
Intergalactic is
Oh,
fine. Oh no. Intergalactic is fine, but the Heretic Prophet, like, come on.
yeah. I'm okay. You know what's crazy? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you might notice, but I kind of like this title mainly because it's like this whole aesthetic is supposed to be like very 80s and stuff. That's a very 80s sounding title right there. Like a movie title sounds very 80s esque.
I kind of get that. That is kind of true.
Especially with like the completely unnecessary like subtitle that's kind of long. Like,
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. Um, but I mean, overall, I'm interested. I'm very interested. I don't know if Naughty Dog will ever. I don't know. They probably have to miss a lot for me to never be interested in something that they make again. But it's a new IP,
hmm
and I love sci-fi, cyberpunk, this kind of vibe. Um, Even the like visual stuff, like with the moon that's broken up and stuff like that, looks super cool. Um, what did you the one of the big one of the big talking points right now is the main character's design. What did you think of that?
it's pretty dull. I'm not gonna lie. But like, I don't know. It's whatever. Like, yeah, it's whatever. I don't really have much to say about it. Um, like the thing is, it's like there isn't anything much to say about it. It's just a girl in like a tank top. I mean, it. I guess my thing is like it's such a like Naughty Dog way of like how they design characters nowadays. It seems like you look at Ellie
Yeah.
in like The Last of Us Part Two. She's like, all right, jeans and a denim shirt, a very dark denim shirt, and it's just like okay, and I think it's specifically of like even like something like the Uncharted series with Nathan Drake. He had a specific like fit for each game that he was in. Like it's like his desert fit in Uncharted 3 was tough. I liked it. It was simple, but it was cool.
Yeah,
So
Nathan Drake has a specific chinos. Uh, I don't know what that kind of shirt is called, but it's like that kind of
hmm
very soft looking shirt that has like buttons on it for some reason.
hmm
And he always rolls up the sleeves. Like he
Yeah.
has a very specific, and then he's got that haircut that kind of like folds upward or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Like Nathan Drake has a character design.
hmm
And I guess so does Ellie. I think Ellie's like design is more distinct in like the original Last of Us because she's kind of she wears that iconic red shirt with the like beach on it,
Yeah.
and then like a long sleeve underneath. And then
hmm
Joel always wears some sort of
Button up.
yeah, button up with plaid on it.
hmm
Um, as far as this character go, I actually think she has a pretty good design. Like her red jacket is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the red jacket's kind of nice. Yeah.
But I think everyone's mad because they said she's ugly and she's bald.
Man, that's messed up that they said that she's ugly. It's based off of an actor. Like what? It's based off of a real person. I don't know how else to tell you this, bro.
I don't know. It's just kind of like people think that Naughty Dog doesn't want women to be feminine. I don't know. Like I think there's something to that argument, but I think that a lot of people will argue it in a way that sounds fucking retarded. So it's like whatever. We don't know enough about the game to really say to have like I don't care if she's bald because it's like maybe there's some lore reason why she shaves her head. I don't fucking know.
Maybe that's.
Like
Oh, you know what? I don't remember exactly where I found it, but there was like, I think Druckmann was talking about how like this game was like one of his themes was going to be like religion and stuff. So maybe that has to do with it too.
I am cautiously optimistic when it comes to this game. I think Naughty Dog has not been my favorite with their last couple of games, but I do still hold out hope that they can make a banger with this. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of things going for it. I think it can be really cool, but we'll see.
I'm really looking forward to seeing gameplay and combat of this. Like, I really would love to see Naughty Dog handle like, a melee combat game. I really want to see that because man, like seeing some of the combat gameplay of Uncharted, or not Uncharted, The Last of Us Part Two, I'm like, oh man, this could be some like it could be really cool. I don't know what they're cooking, but I want to see that. I need to see the gameplay.
So that was it. Game Awards was cool. A lot of exciting announcements in the future and very far future.
Yeah, soon future too. A lot of those titles were like 2025.
Yeah, yeah, I was kind of surprised by that as well. Yeah, a lot of them are coming up kind of soon.
Cool.
But thanks for watching. Take care. Adios.
Bye.